Well, hey there everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alona and today I'm going to be talking about Chat GPT and how you can use it while learning a foreign language, in particular English language or French language. For example, I'm a student and I'm learning French language. So if you want to find out some tips and tricks how to use Chat GPT, stay with me. By the way, do you know what ChatGPT is? Because honestly, in my country, Ukraine, we have just received a possibility to use it like a few weeks ago, and everyone is kind of like talking about it everywhere. Well, and I decided to create a video how my students can use it for English learning. Let's have a look at ChatGPT, what actually it is. If you look at the dashboard, you can find just new chat and a search engine, kind of like the same as in Google. So let's ask ChatGPT what it is. What is ChatGPT? And let's have a look at the answer. I'm ChatGPT, a large language model developed by OpenAI. I guess it stands for artificial intelligence. I have been trained on a vast amount of data, including books, articles, and websites, to understand and generate human-like text. I can be used for a wide range of natural language processing tasks, including language translation, question answering, and chatbot services. Well, I believe that is what you need for learning a foreign language. Let's have a look at it a little bit more in details. Before we start, I want to comment that there are some, let's say, drawbacks of this language model or chat box. Actually, they say that sometimes the information might be not that accurate, so you don't have to fully rely on it. ChatGPT is not connected to the internet and it can occasionally produce incorrect answers. Moreover, it has limited knowledge, especially knowledge of world and events after 2021. Let's have a look in details how you can use ChatGPT for your studying. So we can type, let's have a conversation about shopping. Let's see the answer. Sure, I'd be happy to talk about shopping. Okay, what would you like to discuss? Shopping about clothes. Let's see how it can answer. Great. Are you interested in any particular aspect of clothes shopping, such as how to shop for the best deals, finding the right fit, or staying up to date with the latest fashion? If you don't know some words, you can ask for clarification. For example, you can type, I don't quite understand. Let's see. So finding the right fit refers to finding clothes that fit your body size and shape well. This means that the clothes should not be too tight or too loose, and so on and so forth. If you want to ask for an example in a sentence. It actually is asking whether it helps clarify. Not quite. Give me an example. Let's see. Right. So basically we're having a conversation with this Chat GPT. Another way to have a conversation and practice kind of like conversation is to have a mock job interview, for example. So let's say you're gonna type, let's conduct a mock job interview where you will be asking me questions. As if I were interviewing for, I don't know, for a position for PA, let's say, personal assistant. So let's see. Great, let's start. Please introduce yourself and tell me a bit about your background and experience as a PA. Also, please let me know the name of the company you're interviewing for and the specific role you're applying for, so I can tailor my questions to the position. And you continue. For example, you can type, well, I'm from Ukraine. Let's see what it can reply. Great to meet you. Can you please let me know the name of the company you're interviewing for, blah, 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 or I don't know, let's say Google. Great, thank you for letting me know. Now let's begin the mock interview. Can you walk me through your previous experiences as a PA, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. You can have a look at all interesting type of questions that we have here. By the way, if you want to boost your level of English, you can ask Chat GPT to use advanced vocabulary by typing simply, can you use C2 or C1 vocabulary for this chat? And it will rewrite using some other vocabulary. Moreover, you can have a dialogue, like, let's see what I mean by that. Let's have a dialogue at the, I don't know, at the hotel. Let's see. Usually it takes some time for this artificial intelligence to think. Sure, I'd be happy to have a dialogue with you at the hotel. Is there a specific topic you would like to discuss or any questions you have about the hotel? So you can type, let's try check-in. Let's see. And it continues like, are you already a guest at the hotel or are you checking in for the first time? And you continue, I am checking in for the first time. All right, and you can continue and so on and so forth. I guess you got it, the idea. Unfortunately, you are not able to record your voice, but it can help you and it will simulate a conversation. Also, you can use Chat GPT to create dialogues. So let's gonna have a look at the example. So create a dialogue at the hotel reception, let's see. And it creates you a conversation, for example, between a receptionist and a guest. You can copy paste or just copy paste all these dialogue and use another resource which I consider quite interesting as well. It is either natural readers or voice maker. The links you can find below the video. Listen and repeat after the speaker. You can make pauses on those sides and read, for example, the line of a receptionist or a guest. There are lots of different variations how to use this dialogue. Or you can, for example, hide some parts and just kind of like pretend that you're either a receptionist or a guest and answer these questions which you listen after the speaker on these sites like natural readers. Isn't that great? I think it's free and you're welcome to use, so why not to take the most of it? Alright, I guess you got the idea that you can ask any question this application and it will create or simulate some conversation. But also you can use ChatGPT for grammar and vocabulary boosting for your grammar mistakes and for pronunciation, moreover for writing. Alright, so you can ask ChatGPT to write a short text about some traveling experience and it generates for you some kind of like a text, but as you can see here there are some words which I consider rather difficult and I would say, can you rewrite this text for intermediate level? Okay, so and you can see the same, yeah, kind of like the same, but just using an intermediate level. Let's have a look how you can use for grammar. Obviously, you can ask ChatGPT what the difference is between, for example, present simple and present continuous. Let's try on. Let's ask. You can read what the difference is, and then you can ask for the examples. Actually, here it gave us some examples, so you can read the examples, and wow, that's amazing. You can look at those examples, just read them, pronounce and memorize how to use. You can also ask to create fill in the gap task. Quite often it creates with answers, not always though, but quite often you can see the answers. For example, here you can see, yeah, we have the answer. So you can have a look at the questions. You can actually write like create like 20 sentences to practice this tense, or you can write me 20 sentences for translation from Ukrainian or from French, for example, and it will also create some exercises for you to practice this. Moreover, you can ask to correct my grammar. For example, is this sentence correct? Let's see what it responds, whether it knows the difference about stative verbs that we can't use in continuous. By the way, if you don't know, watch my video over here. Okay, so he's typing, or it actually is telling us that having a car is technically grammatically correct, but it is not commonly used in English to express ownership of a car. Instead, we usually use the present simple tense to talk about possessions or ownership. You can ask for translation. You can ask ChatGPT to create an exercise to practice with translation and the grammar and vocabulary, let's say, that you have studied at classes on your own. For example, like here, I've asked to create an exercise for translation from Ukrainian into English. Use the structure, there is, there are, some, any, no, and, how much, how many, prepositions of place, and vocabulary furniture. Actually, I need this exercise for my lesson with my elementary students, and as a teacher I don't have to spend a lot of time preparing for the exercise. Maybe I will just need to proofread and check it out, the Ukrainian version and the English version of it. So I can, for example, give the Ukrainian version to my students as a home task while the lesson to translate and give them the answers. So just like in few seconds I created the exercise. But what to do if you're kind of like studying on your own? You have these variants, and what you can do, you can copy paste and use Quizlet. Well, you can create an exercise with flashcards. So when you go to Quizlet, which is also kind of like free, you can create a study set, and then actually with those cards. So you copy pasted all of those sentences. You have to work a little bit with like answers matching, right? Like in this way. Or you can simply do like this way. I usually put a hyphen between sentences for Quizlet to understand what I want from it. And you keep doing the rest of it. So you have a card with the Ukrainian translation, you translate into English, swap, and check it out whether it is correct. Like there is a table and 3 chairs in the room. Correct. You can listen and repeat.
There is a table and 3 chairs in the room.
There are different variants how to ask ChatGPT about having a conversation with you. You may add like, let's have a conversation and suggest some phrasal verbs for this conversation. Let's have a conversation and please correct my grammar mistakes. So different variants to have a conversation about any topic.